Hi, my name is Camille Jilkens. I'm CEO of Schouten Nederlands in the Netherlands. And today we sit with Bart and Tim Gronefeld, the Logical Brothers. The topic for today is business, entrepreneurship and leadership. We celebrate 11 years of Gronefeld.
Yes.
And I'm really curious, when you started 11 years ago, what was your goal?
Because we are watchmaking family,
Yeah.
we have a long history, more than 100 years, and we are always working behind the scenes, me and my brother, on beautiful watches. And 11 years ago we wanted to show the world, the watchmaking people who love watches, what we can do.
Yeah.
So we wanted to show our first timepiece.
And that's about showing the world what you can do.
Yes.
If you look more at what are the core values of the brand, was it when you started 11 years ago, it was like the key messages, the key values you wanted to communicate?
You know, we were inspired by traditional pocket watches.
Yeah.
I've seen some pocket watches 200 years old. They look brand new, they look beautiful, they were pieces of art. And we want to be the treasure keepers of that fantastic profession, watchmaking.
Like
So
preserving history.
Yeah, we thought, wow, did the people really have so much time in the past to make such beautiful timepieces?
Yeah.
And then we discovered the other brands also doing the same thing, and we thought, oh, this would be beautiful to do it ourselves. So we want to surprise the people with the quality of hand finishing, but at the same time, we also want to touch the heart of hardcore collectors.
Yeah.
And those persons, they often are looking for special complications. So in many of our timepieces you can find quirky complications, well done, and highlighting the complication. That's our core value.
So you say you started with pocket watches, preserving like the key quality of making watches?
We were not making pocket watches, but those gave us the inspiration for our own watches.
I'm very curious, what do you want to do differently? Because this is about pocket watches, maybe looking back, and then you say maybe some quirky complications, but what do you really want to do differently?
Yeah, at the time from the pocket watches, we were walking in the museums around and checking those really beautiful pocket watches.
Yeah.
And at that time we have seen already a lot of pocket watches with steel bridges.
Yeah.
And we always thought, wow, that's lovely, it's so beautiful. Why nobody is doing that? And then we thought maybe one day we can do it.
We have seen why they didn't do it, because they were often rusted.
They were rusted, and it takes a lot of time to make those steel bridges.
Yeah.
And then we thought we should do it also, but then with stainless steel.
Exactly.
So it doesn't get rusty,
Yeah.
but you have the really nice looking from steel, clean metal, and it will always stay beautiful forever.
And why steel?
Yeah, it has to do also with our work. At that time we were working at Renault Papi, and we were making really nice, beautiful minute repeaters for a lot of brands. And at that time we were polishing all the steel parts, like for example the hammers. Took days for polishing and making tourbillons or whatever. But at that time we took like a few months to make one watch, and then the watch was ready. But then there was winter time, summertime, and then suddenly we got the rust in the parts. So we had to start over again. And over again, and every time we were thinking, why they don't make it from stainless steel? I don't understand. And we asked them, and they said, oh, it's too difficult, too expensive, and things like that. But from that reason, we thought, hey, we can use this in our own watch in the future, but then we use stainless steel.
But then we found out that it is actually much harder to do it in stainless steel than in normal steel. The time it takes to finish a stainless steel, it takes a lot more than brass or gold or soft materials, but also more time than normal steel, because stainless steel is kind of, how do you say it, stroperig.
Yeah, it's like, if you polish it, it gets like, looks like an apple or mandarin. It's really difficult to get a really nicely smooth polishing for the edges and bevels.
So in a way we regret using the stainless steel. But on the other hand, it really gave our brand, Gronefeld, the identity. And people, if you look now, the 6 movements we have one to another, you clearly can see our own identity.
And that's what they have in common. And this is about watches and the ideas you had 11 years ago when you started. Also really curious, you are called the Logical Brothers. How does it work together, what kind of roles do you have? So how do you ensure you keep working well together for already 11 years? So what's the secret there?
In our profession and making a brand, first of all, it involves quite a lot of money investing in new things, and for that reason, I'm so happy that I don't have to take the decisions myself, but we can always talk to each other, and often we push each other. Sometimes you are just too afraid. Let's just go for it. And if I had to make all these decisions myself, it would have been much tougher.
That makes it more easy.
Makes it more easy.
Yeah.
And also with two people, we are very happy that's only two. With two people, we can make decisions really quickly. So there's no big team behind, or investors or banks or whatever. If we make a decision, we go that way, and we make the decision by the two of us. So that's also.
So this is about making decisions together. How do you look at each other's strength? How are you
I
compatible to
think
each other?
in average, Bart is more into the techniques, more into finishing and more complications, and I'm sometimes a little bit more on the administration side, or on the
He's the financial guy, and it's often like, this is
it can be really tough sometimes. So we'll do let's do it like this, and then Bart is a little bit, I'll do it like that, and then he's a little bit more with the technical side.
Yes.
Bart is a little bit more like, how can I say? He's more a technical man.
So it's about technical side, the business side.
Yeah, but we both are watchmakers.
You both,
So
for sure.
in our heart, we are watchmakers. We love to make watches.
Yeah.
But on the business side, there's a small difference. Yes.
And in the past, if you look back at those 11 years, what were maybe some difficult moments, and how did you get out of it together? Because being brothers, knowing each other's strength, how did that help you to come through those maybe some difficult times or difficult decisions you had to make?
We are brothers, and in the past we were also the usual brothers.
Usual brothers. What does that mean?
That everybody that has a brother or sister, when you are young, you always have fights.
Yeah.
So we have had our share of fights along the way, but when we were living, we went in the same direction, watchmaking school. I was at the end of the watchmaking school, and Tim just came to the watchmaking school. Then we started living together, and we became friends. And since we are friends, we became friends because of the same profession, watchmaking.
So you share that passion,
yes.
And it feels like a relationship really deepened.
It is.
In that time.
And it's not only about watchmaking, but also we just became really friends. And we hope to stay that way for the rest of our lives.
So you say you are friends, but still curious when it's getting difficult or difficult decisions.
Yeah, we are two men.
We
are two men, and if we have a problem, then often we think, okay, let's wait. And usually the next day, one or the other
will talk.
Comes to.
It's about waiting, taking time.
And think about it, and talk again, and then somebody has to say, we understand each other. Okay, you are right. Let's do it like that. It's just not like it takes weeks or whatever. It's just like goes quickly.
Sometimes we have to look a little bit further ahead, and sometimes I can look further ahead. Sometimes he can. We just have to explain each other why you were deciding on a certain thing.
11 years ago, it was just the two of you. Now you're building a team. Maybe you get a new place which is bigger. How do you look at yourself as leaders of a growing team? What do you want to bring there?
That's quite a difficult job.
Tell me more.
It's when you do always the same thing. You make your watches, and you're selling like in the past we did like 10 watches a year, 15 watches a year. It's like everybody happy. It's really easy to manage everything. But now we are growing. We grow up to 75, 80 watches last year, and this year maybe a little bit more. We want to go to 100 in the future. But that makes for our company big difference.
That's a big step.
It's a really big step, and also for our employees, for our watchmakers, for our team. They have to get used. There will be coming new people. We are looking for new people, and to manage everything, it's quite a tough thing. It's not easy.
What do you want to bring there as leaders? Because you said we are growing, it's difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your view on it?
The thing is, our watchmakers are doing a very, very valuable job, and we absolutely need them a lot. And what is very important is to keep them updated of what is going on, because sometimes we are very busy in our offices sometimes,
yes.
and we tend to forget to tell the people
a lot of traveling.
Yeah, I mean we are continuously talking to each other.
Yeah. And with clients all the day long.
All day long, and sometimes we forget to tell them, and we had some issues here at work, and then we thought, okay, we really have to do the weekly meetings. We are not people that want to do meetings because we don't want to waste time, but here we really found, okay, we need to do it.
Yeah.
And
why?
Yeah,
to keep people
involved
with what is going on in the business with our brand. It's not that they are only there for watchmaking; they are part of the team. So they really like to know also what's going on on the sales side with the clients and things like that. I remember when I started as a watchmaker, you were never involved with anything. You were just behind your bench and that's it. You make your watches, and every month you deliver your watch to the boss or to your chef, and that's about it. Nobody talked about the whole.
But this is a reason why we started our own brand, because we wanted to show what we can do. We want to have the recognition.
And you wanted to show the world.
And the people here, we have to give them recognition by first of all doing those meetings, and also sharing the feedback of our customers, and sharing the online feedback of things. And not everybody is on Instagram, but we want to share.
And that brings being connected to the company. It feels what's going on.
Yeah.
And how do you help your team, the watchmakers, to grow into their role, to develop them? How do you look at that?
We have few people there working already really long time with us, so they know from the beginning until now. They know all the steps, and actually they are teaching the new watchmakers or the new people now. Me and Bart, we are a little bit less behind the bench, but we still love to go behind the bench. Sometimes we are behind the bench because we want to see what's going on with our products. We want to see the finished product, and we want to teach people also when we have new products. So we are still behind the bench, but not that much. But we see that all the watchmakers in our company, they are teaching also the new people.
You say like the experienced people are training.
Yeah, it's moving.
The new people.
And every time when we have a new movement coming out, so that's usually every 2 years, then we will be a couple of months in the workshop to build those first movements together with our entire team, so they know what we expect from them, and we see the difficulties in the watch. So we want to also be able to explain to our customers where's the difficult parts in the watch.
And how do you look at, how important is teamwork in the workshop? Because I know you really work together well as brothers.
In the workshop, it's
how important is teamwork, and if it's important, how do you ensure you really work together as a team?
It only works as a team.
Yeah.
Because at the moment there's no watchmaker who's doing only his own thing.
Yeah.
They work as a team. They work, for example, with the watchmakers on, for example, 10 watches, but they work together. One watchmaker is making a few parts, another watchmaker is finishing a few parts. One is doing the escapement, another one is doing the hands or whatever, and together they build those watches. So if there's no teamwork, it doesn't work at all.
And how do you make them work together as one team? And what's your secret there?
Yeah, they do it themselves.
They do it themselves. It's we found out it was a very, very tough decision for us, or not a decision, but to leave it over to them. You know, they are making our product, but we are so busy on the other hand, on the side, that our team asked us, please let us do our thing, because we know how to do. We do it how many 15 or 20 years. Go away, do your thing, and we do our own thing. So it's good that they can do it by themselves. But still, we want to go there, and we want to be involved as well. So same as they want to be involved on the business side or.
What did it take from you guys to let it go? Because I know you like to be involved. You started with the two of you, then you had a growing team.
We didn't want to do that, but we were kind of forced to do it because the amount of work in our office increased every day, and every morning when we come in, we think, oh no, we don't have so many things to do in the office. Let's go up to the workshop, and then bing, 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 emails come in, and for us, treating those emails is it's quite intensive, intense.
Day and night job.
Because we handle like 70 watches. Like now we have like 80 watches on order, and you can expect for every sale you can expect about 10 or 20, sometimes 30, 40 emails per watch, especially when they want to have bespoke things done. And for me, my English is not native, so writing English it's okay, but I still have to think, and I have to think twice or 3 times to send a correct answer to the customer. Sometimes they ask really tough things, and I type something quickly, and then I have to step back.
But we have to think, really have to think about, and that we are sitting next to each other, how we answer the clients. Because these days you have to be careful, because they just
bad things are shared
straight away on
online,
Instagram or whatever, and as a small brand as us, it's very delicate.
Your image is everything.
Yeah, your image is everything.
Still very curious, because you say, hey, when the team was growing, the key thing you did was you let it go. So you opened up a space for the team to take their own leadership.
And there we are now, and now we are moving to the next step. We are looking for more watchmakers now at the moment.
Yeah, you're growing.
Yeah, we are growing. We are looking into a new building. Soon we will know if we can get the building. It's a beautiful building where we are looking for now, and that we have place for many people.
And then we want to, when that happens, we feel quite confident that we can take Gronefeld, the brand, to the next level. We will never be Patek Philippe or Lange & Söhne, but we can grow. I think with quite confidence. We could grow quite easily up to 200, maybe 500 pieces. But you know, it's we don't need to, but we can if we can find the people.
What is it? Because I like what you say about it's like going to the next phase.
Yes.
What does it take from the two of you as a leader to really bring that into reality? And what do you need to do differently? What are maybe new skills you need to learn, or maybe things you need to let go of to really help the company to grow into that next phase and not be like a barrier for the company to grow into that next phase?
I think in my many years of experience, this is the most difficult part of our company, where we are now, to grow to the next step. If you just want to say, oh, we keep it up to 70 watches a year, or a little bit less, 50, then it's easy.
Stable, you can control.
Yeah, we can control, but if we grow a little bit more, we know we cannot continue like this because it's too much for everybody. So we need people helping us by answering emails in the office, sending watches. It's not all done by me and Bart, sending all the watches, all the emails, administration. So that's we have to find people in office, new watchmakers, new building. It's quite a organization.
Can I stop you for a sec? Because this is about what you need to do, like hire more people to answer emails. But what does it take from the two of you to really make that next step? Because hiring people, I fully understand. But if you look at yourself, what's needed there?
That's a difficult question. Work even harder.
Yeah, but that's working hard is usually not a solution to grow from 70 to 500 because there's an end. We got 24 hours, 7 days.
Yeah.
So what's really needed from you guys to make it happen?
You tell us.
We go slowly every step. So I don't know. We just go there.
Let's take some time.
It's maybe a good thing to know that we a few years ago we had somebody from the watch industry, really. Quite a famous guy, and he came to us and he said, I want to be a part of your team. You want to be also like the CEO or whatever. So we worked with him for more than 1 year, every week, 1 day, and we made a business plan for 20 years to come. And in that business plan, we made a plan, we were growing up to 70 people and up to 500 watches. And in that plan we had all the details from building to people to salespeople to all the models that we were planning to make.
20 years. It's a
20
long
years,
time.
it's a long time. But on the end, he didn't step in because there were some other problems. But from that plan, we are still working on that plan, but then in small.
Without an investor.
Without investors over there, it's just me and my brother still. And from there we are working and we are exactly on that point where
You are
we
on
did
track.
small.
Yeah.
We follow the plan.
One last question about what you need to let go of, maybe what you need to learn, because you were smiling as you tell me, and that's like easy, but I don't let you get out of it so easy.
Okay.
Tim, if you could give Bart one tip on his leadership for the coming 10 years, and what he could do differently, or what kind of tip would you give to Bart as a colleague, brother, or what's friend?
Let the people do their job.
Let the people do that. That's good.
Yeah.
If you turn it around,
Trust them. Yeah.
trust them? If you turn it around, what kind of tip would you give to Tim?
It's a very difficult question.
I don't know. I think Tim is doing a great job, and
Yeah, no, we have to find something.
You had a really good tip about letting go, trust. What can you give back?
I don't know. I don't know. I just hope you stay friends and brothers forever, and
Okay.
and
Give me a tip what to do. Maybe it will help. We never talk like this to each other.
I'll tell you off camera. No.
Okay, let's change topics. We had 11 years. You talk about the business plan for you made a business plan for 20 years. What's your view on the coming 11 years? And what are the key things you want to show the world? And I mean not in models, but more in values, dreams you have.
Our dream is to go to build the team a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Have more space for everybody. To have more people to organize everything.
Mm-hmm.
To get a little bit more relaxed because now it's quite
For yourself,
for
yeah.
ourselves, but also for our team. And to make beautiful watches for the rest of the world, that people like what we do. And that's really nice if we go somewhere in the world now, everybody likes what we do, and we want to show people even, again, beautiful watches that they love what we do.
And still that sounds a lot like what you did 11 years ago.
Yes.
And the watch world has changed tremendously in those 11 years, and we live in a different world. So probably the world will change as well in the coming 11 years. So I hear what you say about making beautiful watches and growing, but how do you want to deal with all those changes that's happening outside us?
You know, the things that have changed is the digital world around us.
Yeah.
Things are moving very, very fast,
which
makes it a problem for us because we only release a new watch every year or every 2 years. That's difficult to deal with. On the other hand, it's something that we have to let go because we can, with a small brand like as we are today, or will be also in 10 years, I think, we will still be very small and very, things are moving very slowly in terms of models. And I think that makes it also maybe a strong point for our brand because, you know, if you launch a watch today, the watch can probably be seen in the United States perhaps half a year or 1 year later. And in our mind, we are already, 2 years, the watch is already in our mind.
Yes.
For the customers, they can only see the watch after half a year. And I think we have to keep that in mind that we don't need to rush things like it's going all around us.
we have time.
We have time, and you know, things are going better and better every year. And it's not because we are going faster and faster all the time.
Yeah.
It's just because we are consistent in quality and.
I love what you said because the actual environment is changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
But in a way, if we take time, if we continue building our strength and our passion, then we can make that dream of a bigger team, maybe 500 watches a year. We can realize it. We can make it happen.
Yeah, we have a very traditional profession, and I think we have to keep it that way.
Yeah.
If you want to go really fast in a fast-moving world, you better go into building apps or making smartphones.
Yeah.
Those things are going very fast, and I think in a way we are kind of happy that we have to deal with traditional things. We don't have to go to school to learn new things. We have to invent our next things.
Yeah.
And yeah, stay calm.
Stay calm.
That's
Inventing is also about creativity. Come up with new
Yes.
things. How does that work between the two of you? So how to,
Oh, yeah.
to release that creativity? Because I know you got a lot of ideas, but how do you choose? How do you?
Yeah.
How
We have
do-
a lot of
how to
ideas.
develop new things.
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas, and that started already with the big business plan that we made. We made like a family of watches and different designs and different complications, because we like to highlight complications. For example, in the Remmeltswaar you see the governor in the
In
other
8
dial.
seconds.
Yeah, with the parallax tourbillon you see the tourbillon is floating out of the dial. The jumping seconds, the 1/100, you see a large second hand.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of models where we and ideas, technical ideas that we want to show the world. But we go there, but sometimes when we go there on the line, on the end we make some small changes. We see, oh, the world is changing, and we just change a little bit the complication.
And how do you choose your direction? Because you say you got a lot of ideas, and you got a Remmentoir, or the tourbillon.
those are
How do
ideas.
you choose?
But sometimes we are also pushed by suppliers. Now, for example, we have some watches in the future. We want to come out next model, but then some suppliers they are late with parts or whatever, and then we are pushed to show another watch before actually the watch that we want to show the world, and that's sometimes a little bit tough. But it
Do
is
you
what
want
it
to
is.
say something? What's on your mind?
No, it's like the models we have in our minds or sketches. They are often 10 years old or even more. And the idea, the whole world is changing slowly around you. People want a big case, small case, thick, thin, sport, classical. You know, we have to translate that into today's needs. And but so far we didn't change so much. Yeah, we went from 43 millimeters to 39 millimeters. That was a big step for us. Only 4 millimeters, but it's a
For the
huge.
movement, it can have a big impact.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's also a big step in the design and different customers, and we like that. And yeah, the inspiration for models often they are based upon traditional things.
Yeah,
Or already existing, but then executed in a different way.
Yeah. And well, like you said, the ideas are sometimes already 10 years old. Then you look how the market is changing, how you can still make it fresh or.
Yeah, and it's mostly in terms of design.
Yeah.
You know, our design in our movements also developed slowly, but yeah, we keep it consistent with the materials choice. We like to keep the stainless steel, the gold shuttles, the bell gable from the Dutch houses. And that's really well recognized worldwide, and we want to keep that.
You are third generation watchmakers. It's already a long history. What is that of being a family company, being third generation of watchmakers? What does that bring to your leadership style, or how you look at building a business?
It's first of all our grandfather. He was a watchmaker. First of all, a watchmaker. Not building new watches, but restoring mainly pocket watches, clocks. Our parents, they took over in the 60s, late 60s. And at the time it was already grown to like a jeweler shop, selling watches, clocks, jewelry. We are third generation, two of us. We both happen to go the same direction. And what we are trying to build is, of course, a very nice brand for ourselves, but also we want to leave the legacy up to our children. That's why taking that next step is important for us. We want to build something where our kids, I have 2 daughters, he has 2 sons, and we want to, maybe not for all the 4 of them, but for 1, 2, 3 of them, we want to leave something where they don't need to be a watchmaker. If they have passion about design, if they have passion about finance or marketing, you know, those kind of jobs we want to create within between now and 5 years.
Yeah.
And I have two sons, 11 and 30.
You often see them on Instagram.
Yeah, they are on Instagram, and my youngest son, he's posting already some watches of me and from us, and he is really getting into watches. And my oldest son, I take him. He's now 13. I take him sometimes to if he has a presentation or whatever, and he's really looking and wow, that's really nice. And sometimes he comes here if people are coming to make pictures, and he's really involved with that. He wants to come here. He wants to see the new watches, and so I think they are learning now about watches, and I hope they will also continue to be
As you say, they come to presentations, maybe they meet clients, and then they already learn they get the feeling.
I can't wait to take them to Baselworld or SISH in a few years. That would
Watches
be,
and wonders.
Watches and wonders. That would be really nice to have my kids there and your kids.
And this is about your kids and maybe the fourth generation of the Gronefeld family. If you could give one tip to the new generation, maybe how to build a business in uncertain times or how to grow. It's not even about watchmaking, but more in general, being an entrepreneur, building a brand. What would be your advice to?
I think we learned the most from a business plan.
Making the business plan.
Make a good business plan. And keep on your business plan.
Yeah. So make a plan.
Yeah.
Stick to it. Also, you said keep looking at the external environment.
You can go a little bit like that.
Be adaptive.
You have to set a point and you have to follow the lines because.
And be original.
Be original.
Yeah, it's recently I heard that nowadays companies they are around about 6 years and then they are gone.
True.
So that's kind of worrying.
Yeah.
And that's but it's also a challenge to set apart from those 6 years and keep on going for the fourth generation. And I think with this traditional job, it's very important to be consistent and think on the long term, not in what shall we do tomorrow, what shall we do in a few years.
But be consistent, be courageous, and also make bold choices like using steel. Nobody was doing it, so be original.
Be original.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thanks so much for this interview.
Pleasure.
We learned a lot about your history and your view on business. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.